It's time to rock and roll!
Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Waffle Press Hangouts. I'm your host, Diego Crespo. It's episode number 114, 114 episodes. That's absurd to me that we're still doing
really
this,
is.
but I'm happy about it. Who else was happy about it? It was my co-host, Gina Versa. Hi, Gene. How are you?
Hey, good to see you again.
Yeah, we totally did not see each other just like recently.
Yeah.
Like 3 times. Like I spent most of the last 2 weeks with you.
Pretty much.
Is that a bad thing? Is that a good thing? I'll let the audience decide. No, it was great. We've been having a lot of fun together.
It's all good.
And we're gonna have a lot more fun tonight because we got an exciting guest. But Gene, why don't you introduce our guest and talk about what we're going to talk about today on the show?
Sure. Yeah. Today we're gonna discuss Super Nintendo World, which just went to the preview day if you're a Universal Pass holder. So we had early access, but we had a really cool guest. She's a good friend of mine. She was also my supervisor at G4. So welcome to the show, Ashley Hartford. How you doing, Ashley?
Thank you, Gene. Thank you, Diego. I'm really excited to be here. First, I love your guys' podcast. It's really awesome and informative, and I don't feel like I will be on the same caliber as some of the other guests. Shout out Coyd, but I do think that I'm really happy to talk about Super Nintendo World, especially because I just went today, so I feel like it's very fresh.
Yeah, same here. I went yesterday. I was like there. I had the 2 p.m. slot, so it's all fresh with me too. So
cool. But welcome. This is the first time you and I have met. We did a quick little rundown before we started recording. So you
I feel like we go way back now.
I know.
It's been like 5 minutes, like what, 5 years. Like I feel like we hung out.
Yeah, no, the pre-Zoom hangouts, the pre-recording hangouts on Zoom, they're like the Narnia closet, you know? It's like 5 minutes in the real world, but we really just spent like all this time getting to know each other.
Yeah, so. It was like the Inception, like deep levels. Like
yeah, exactly.
It's time warp.
But because the audience wasn't there with us, could you talk a little bit about yourself? What do you have going on in the world? What are you doing? You've got an amazing setup right there. So
awesome. Thank you. I'm Ashley. I don't know if I can toss out my streamer handle, but I go by Twisted Dreamer. I'm a very like casual streamer, but former Activision Blizzard esports post-production supervisor for the Call of Duty League. So that was really fun to be part of that team. And then, Gene and I worked together at G4, where I was the post-soup / GM. So we have some good memories.
Yeah, you were a great boss. Thank you.
Aw, that means a lot. But currently I'm just, I'm kind of on like a staycation, I guess you would call it. So I've been going to a lot of theme parks lately. Nice. Disney and Universal both in the same week, pretty wild. And I recently over the holidays got a virtual pinball machine, so I've been like tinkering around and setting that up and doing some pinball streams, which is actually it's really cool. So enjoying getting to know that community, and then just watching a lot of movies. I'm on Letterboxd now, so been watching tons of movies. And, I try to go in fresh, but sometimes I feel like if I read a review, I end up being a little bit biased. So it's I don't know. I have mixed opinions on Letterboxd.
No, I think everyone agrees with you on that, because it's like sometimes you're like, finally someone understands me on this one specific topic that will not have an impact on my life outside of this exact moment. And then other times you're like, no, everyone else is wrong about like everything,
like take it with a grain of salt. My opinion is the exact opposite of a lot of critics, so I don't know, but I like to go in with my own opinions. Usually I don't read reviews or anything before watching a film. Sometimes I don't even watch a trailer. I just go in. Like I remember going to Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I had no idea what that movie was. And then you come out the other side and you're like, whoa. So but I have seen the trailer for the Super Nintendo movie coming up. Wait, Gene, what's the name? I don't even know if I know the exact title of this film.
Yeah, it's just called Super Mario Brothers, actually.
Super Mario Brothers. Okay, awesome.
Yeah, Super Mario Brothers movie. I think they want to add that into it. So just to be correct, I'll put that in there too.
We'll definitely talk about that.
We'll get to that.
But is there anything you want to highlight that you have been watching? You said you're watching a lot of movies and stuff. Like anything you really liked, or anything you're like, maybe avoid this one? It happens.
Well, so in the same vein as like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, which is like Quentin Tarantino's love letter to Hollywood, I do like watching a lot of movies about making movies. So I saw 2 of those recently. One was Babylon, which that one is very polarizing. I feel like, I don't know your guys' thoughts. Either like you love it or hate it. I came out and I'm like, love this. I want to make movies. Like I want to work on like silent sets. Like, I don't know. I thought it was a lot of fun. So that was definitely a movie I enjoyed. And then I went and saw Spielberg's latest, The Fabelmans. And loved it. That was also really, that one was very emotional. So I enjoyed it.
Yeah, we're very pro Fabelmans here. And
are you?
Yeah, I mean, Spielberg's kind of like I kind of call him like the obvious choice for like, someone their favorite filmmaker. It's like Steven Spielberg, but it's just because it's obvious doesn't mean it's like wrong, like he just is that guy.
It's great.
I have not seen Babylon yet. I'm interested in watching it. I saw it. Very, very divisive. I understand that, but I'm looking forward to it. So
I like the first 2 hours of Babylon. The last hour was just that was hard. That was hard to watch. It was really depressing. I don't know. It has a good ending, but it's just like you have to get through another hour of that movie. I don't know.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like it was one of the few movies where I didn't catch my mind wandering off and having like other thoughts. I was very engaged the entire time. And that might have just spoke to like the soundtrack was really good in it. So I don't know. It was just a movie that I felt like completely immersed in. Okay. So I like when I feel like I'm like in that world and I just kind of lose sense of myself. And
no, that's the best feeling to have. Totally. I love when a movie makes me have that feeling. And like I've definitely been in that spot where I'm like, I don't know what people feel about this movie, but I love it. And then you go out into the real world and the takes are taking, the discourse is discoursing, and you're just like, I'm not touching that. But that's fine. I'm sure the Mario movie won't cause any of that because people don't have any strong opinions about video game movies whatsoever.
No,
they've never made angry Twitter threads about what they adapted wrong or whatever. And I don't know. Sometimes Twitter's weird, but what's not weird is our memories playing our first Mario games. Does anyone here remember their first Mario game? Like at all? Because I gotta be honest, I don't remember what the first one was.
It was just always there.
It's just kind of always been there. Like I can tell you guys the first one I remember playing was probably the one Super Mario World on the Game Boy Advanced. I think it was that one.
Okay.
Yeah. Is that what it was called? See, I don't even remember what it was called.
Okay.
But
I'd have to look that up.
Yeah. Oh yeah. How about you guys?
Ashley, did you want to go first?
Sure. So I mean, my catchphrase is I start on Atari, now I'm here. So I definitely have a few years on you before Game Boy Advance came out. I do recall my original NES console where we had to like stick the cartridge in and like put another cartridge in and like blow in the cartridge. Like, I don't know, it was like a whole like 10-step process to get the game to work. But yes, I iconically remember playing Mario on my NES and I was obsessed with it. And it's funny because if you think of like, I guess we're talking about the first Mario game. So I was gonna say it's really difficult though to decide what the favorite Mario game is. But yes, first definitely I think it's OG, straight up NES Mario.
Yeah. That's a good one. Yeah, I think I've went back and played that because my first system was actually, it wasn't Nintendo, it was the Sega Genesis, which I don't know how I got. It was just there. It was like one of my first memories, just playing the Sega Genesis, which Genesis is like, okay, I'm not sure if you guys have any strong opinions or not, but it had some fairly good games. But then I got the N64, Nintendo 64, which I love that console. That one's, there you go.
Fantastic. One hiding behind me. My original.
Still had to like blow on it and everything, but
no way.
I think the first like Mario game I consciously remember playing is probably like Mario Party, and it was probably like Mario Party 2 because there was some more mini games that were more themed. There was like a Western map. There was like a wizard map, and I remember always losing, and I felt like the game was rigged. But
it is great, Gene.
It is, yeah.
We should go back and play. I feel like you'd still lose, but
I know. Yeah, that game's really frustrating. People like say like Mario Kart ruins friendships, but I don't know. I think like Mario Party is like up there too. Yeah.
I completely agree with you, by the way.
Like, I hate Mario Party.
I don't hate it, but whenever someone's like, "You want to play?" I'm like, "No." Like I hate being a party pooper. Yeah, it's like I'll play, but I'm not gonna have fun, and you're all gonna start laughing at me, and I'm gonna start spiraling emotionally or something like that. So we don't need to get into all that.
Yeah,
but I will say like, when I first played like Mario Kart, it must have been the GameCube one, I think.
Oh, so there was Double Dash for the GameCube. That's the one with like two people on it.
Yes.
Is that okay? Yeah. That's
that was
Double
the first
Dash.
one I played, and then that's when I like started falling in love with Mario Karts. I was like, oh, this is it, like Mario Party. Super Smash Brothers I like. I'm not great at, but I like it. I like playing that a lot. But Mario Kart, that was my jam for sure.
You guys are skipping over. Thank goodness I'm here, because you're skipping over an entire like generation, like the best console of all time, like the SNES.
Super Nintendo, yeah.
Yeah, Super Nintendo is amazing. And Mario, I will say, going back though and playing Mario Kart on that is way more difficult than I remember it being, because I thought I was really good, and I'm like, oh, this game is like, it's pretty hard. But yeah, that's the OG for me.
Yeah, that's a good console. Just for some reason I had the Sega Genesis, but yeah, I think I've went back and played some of the games either through like an emulator or something, and they're fun. Yeah. They're great. Like Super Mario 3 or 2, they're awesome.
Yeah, 3 is amazing. For a little bit I was trying to speed run 3 because I know that you can beat it in like 7 or 10 minutes by doing like the broken warps, and it's really cool, but you can't actually do it on the new consoles that come out. The original consoles, I think it was like a certain frame that it had to land on, and the emulators of that, it doesn't break in the right way. But I love watching speed runs of Super Mario 3.
Yeah, they're fun. Yeah, that game's awesome too. Yeah, that's the one with the raccoon costume, right?
Yeah, I think it's like Tanuki Mario. Yeah, I had a little raccoon that I was actually gonna buy one and put it on my stream. I had one, and he would sit and play Mario with me. He was like cool. My first like friend. Yeah, and then I think the best music. I want to say like I forgot that this game existed, but Super Mario 2. It's such a weird. It's weird because it doesn't really fit. I don't think it was supposed to be a Mario game, but then they're just like slap Mario label on it. But the music in it's like very iconic for me. So I feel like they've got some like low key jams in Mario 2.
Yeah, I have to go back and listen to some of the soundtracks because, I mean, just being in the park, and we'll talk about that later, the music of like, the Mario, like the Mushroom Kingdom that's used in Super Nintendo World, it's very calming, it's very like peaceful, I don't know, it's like if you're working and you have that in the background, I think it helps you work,
I would totally work there just to be in that environment with the music. If I was 16 or 20, I don't know.
Yeah, it'd be fun. And then I was gonna say, if anyone also played Donkey Kong too, the first Mario appearance, anyone like go to an arcade for that or anything?
I think I actually played that at the arcade by our high school, Gene.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken, because I definitely played that in an arcade. I'm trying to remember if it was that arcade, which is that still there at the Montebello Mall?
No, it's not. No.
Yeah, it didn't sound like it was, but that's okay.
That game is extreme, like deceptively difficult. Yes, I can't even get. I maybe beat the first level like one time. I played it in an arcade recently. It's a hard game. Gaming is like, I don't know. I know you got your Elden Rings and stuff, but like, you can't even compare to like Donkey Kong.
No, that game's hard. I remember for one of the, like, I don't know if it was an Easter egg, but for Donkey Kong 64, they included like an emulator of Donkey Kong, that original arcade game in there.
Yeah.
And I remember just being like that, being young and being like, this is too difficult. I'm just gonna go back to playing this N64 game instead of trying to get it. Like, it was like you could get a token or something if you beat it. I'm like, it's not worth it.
Yeah. Well, and in line with Mario Kart, did either of you guys play Diddy Kong Racing on 64?
Yeah, I love Diddy Kong.
That's one of my favorite 64 games.
Oh, that one's really fun, and too, like, they fly like planes and like, go-karts and stuff. Also,
hovercraft.
Also, like it's weird because that game, because it's from Rare, and it's like the first appearance of Banjo, which is like cool. Banjo, because
Oh,
just Banjo, not Kazooie. And also, it's like the first appearance of if you guys played Conker's Bad Fur Day, Conker the squirrel. He's like
Yeah.
in that, and he's like all cuddly,
I
and
didn't
he's
even
not.
put that together. No
Yeah,
way.
that's
Wow.
Conker from like Conker's Bad Fur Day. Like that's like a proto version of him. Because originally he was supposed to be like this, like kind of like Banjo Kazooie, like cute character, and they completely overhauled that into Conker's Bad Fur Day, which is like, I'm not sure if you guys have played that game, but
I have. In
yeah, I
fact,
love
the
it.
appearance of Conquer is how I got that past my parents at that age.
Oh,
And I'm playing it and I'm like, what?
you're
You know,
like,
like
yeah, well, I love that game. That's wild that Rare was like, okay, kids game. No, just now he's an alcoholic and he's going to like war and he has like a like ex-girlfriend. That game's wild. I'm not.
that game ends with like an aliens battle reference.
Hmm.
Like that's just like psychotic.
Yeah,
It just prepares you as a kid for the real world.
yeah, it does. Yeah.
You know
Look,
what? Yeah.
kids, life's gonna get tough.
Without that
Hmm.
game, I don't graduate high school.
Yeah,
There you go. That's
yeah.
not true at all, but like it sounds really good. I'd put that on the box cover.
Hmm.
Here's a question I just thought of because I've seen people talk about it and it's not in our show notes at all, but like, so that was a Rare game,
Hmm.
Mhm.
Banjo Kazooie.
Yep.
Like, they're on fire back then. Was that the best developer at that time? Like, I'm sure I'm missing
I
something else because,
Yeah.
like we also
GoldenEye
mentioned
too.
earlier, we skipped like a generation when Gene and I were talking about games. So like maybe
Hmm.
there's stuff we're missing, but I don't know. Is Rare like the definitive like developer for that era? Maybe.
Yeah, 90s Rare, I think, right, Ashley?
You guys, like, I don't. I played so many games and had so many consoles, but
Hmm.
as far as developers go, like, that's really tough to say.
Hmm.
I don't know. I don't
Yeah,
know. I'd have to go back through my library and see how many games I had that were rare games.
Rare.
I might be
Yeah.
surprised.
Yeah, because it's like they did like GoldenEye, Conker's Bad Fur Day, all the Banjo Kazooies, Jet Force Gemini. And there's like one more I can't think of, but they're awesome. That's the sad part though with Rare, because people were like talking about it the last couple years or whatever. They're really good up until they get sold to Microsoft, and then something happens and they lose like the development team for like that made all those games for the N64, and then they make like Grab by the Ghoulies or like Viva Pinata. They did like one good game which was like Cameo or something.
Wait, Viva Pinata?
Viva Pinata,
Yeah.
How
yeah.
did I miss this classic?
No,
It's like
I
it's
like
okay.
Viva Pinata.
I don't
Yeah.
know Viva
like that.
Pinata. I'm not even kidding. I have
Oh
to
my
look it
gosh.
up.
No. It's a little kid game for
Yeah,
sure. But it's
but
like it's well made. I think it's well
yeah.
made. Yeah,
You
I
know
think
what?
you're
But
being way too hard
no,
on.
no, I will never forgive them for Banjo Kazooie Nuts and Bolts, which I hate that. I hate that game so much because it's like I'm not sure if you guys have played it. Have you
I
heard of it?
have. I also think you're being hard on it. I don't think
No,
it's very good, but
no,
it's not
it's not
like
good. It's
it's
not.
not Banjo 3, which is the
But
problem.
like, but it's like for years I was waiting for Banjo 3, and then they had like a builder racing car game. They're like, yeah, throw Banjo in it, and they like fucked it up. And it's like, I was like, I asked my parents for it, and I got it for Christmas, and I was so excited because I had the 360, and then it's just this like build racing game, like this build car racing game. I'm like, I never finished it. I'm like, this is dumb.
Okay, but like, is it bad because it's not what you wanted, or is it
Yes,
bad because
yeah.
it's a poorly made game? Because I think it's just the former, which is
You know
fine,
what? No, I
you
think it
know.
is. I think it is. I think it is a bad game because like the maps are too big, the cars are clunky. It's kind of it doesn't feel polished. You know,
Mhm.
it's very like disproportionate because it's like you could kind of go around the map with a car, but then it's like there's too much stuff. Yeah, there's like too much stuff to collect. I think it's a bad game.
Okay, I think
It was
it's
just
fine.
rushed through production. I feel
Yeah.
like there was a lot of games too where it was like there's a movie coming out or there's a product coming out, like some merch, and we got to get this game out, and it's just like this is what you get for Christmas, Gene. Merry
Yeah.
Christmas.
No, I wanted that game though. I wanted it.
Now, I mean, that's also a great segue. So thank you for that. So we
Oh
can
yeah, of
talk
course.
about well, a couple things. First, the new Mario Brothers movie.
Hmm.
It's animated, Illumination Entertainment. They did the Despicable Me movies, the Minions
Mm-hmm.
movies, that Grinch movie.
Mm-hmm.
They did a couple Dr. Seuss animated stuff. So what do we all think of it? Like,
Hmm.
I guess that's the real question here. That's what we're here to talk about today,
Mm-hmm.
primarily before we get into the theme park stuff. What do we
Yeah.
all think about that movie?
All right,
Like,
before you guys go and spoil the fun here, I just want to say that I am so excited that we're even getting a Mario movie. Like,
Okay.
I have probably waited my entire life for this film, not a live action Mario with two like bros wearing overalls, an
Mhm.
animated movie with actually really cool animations. So I'm gonna go into this with like maybe I don't want to say low expectations, but I don't want to go in expecting to have a certain type of experience. I just want to go and be entertained and be like, oh my God, I'm so happy that this movie exists.
Yeah.
mhm. No. I think
No,
that's actually like
Mhm.
Gene and I have definitely talked about it just in the real world too. I think we actually feel the same. Like my hot take is that I don't hate that 90s one.
The
It's
90s
like a
one. Me neither.
disaster, but I don't
Yeah.
hate it. I think it's
No,
like funny and it's like
yeah.
weird and they'll never make a movie like that again. So it's like a cultural
Yeah.
artifact, you know?
Mhm.
Yeah. I mean, I should
Um,
go back and watch it now, but I remember as a kid going
Mhm.
like, what the is this?
yeah.
Like, as a kid, I was like
Mhm.
excited to watch it. And then I'm watching it and I'm like, this is not what I was expecting. Like,
No,
I remember
same.
being very
Yeah,
strongly
same.
like, and I don't know, like, I think maybe certain type of people would enjoy that, but I feel like maybe I wasn't at the right age to
Yeah.
like, I don't think I liked anything that wasn't animated until I hit like a certain age. So
Okay.
I was way too young for that type of Mario movie.
I
I
can
don't
understand
know.
that.
Maybe now I can go back and be like, yeah, this is
Yeah.
classic Mario.
Mhm.
Definitely you're not going to feel that. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I did
Yeah.
a podcast back in like 2019 about it
Yeah.
with a guest who really liked it. Tom Springer, great guy, great Twitter follow. He really likes it, and I admire it. But it is not like, oh yeah, bring the family. It's like it's just like, hey, if you're like a movie nerd who has like
Mhm.
nothing better to do and you're really curious about what these used to look like, check it out because it's like it's so out there. It's so
Yeah.
ridiculous.
I love how 90s it is too, if anyone's seen the trailer for it. Like it's cut to that song
ridiculous.
I've got the power. You ever heard that one?
Yeah.
And it's like
it was on like Jock Jams.
mhm. Like the way they cut it is like they're like, oh, it's a new era for Mario, and then it's like I've got the power, and then it's just like cutting, and it's just like so wild. It's also a fun movie to revisit. Uh, it's also like a fun movie to revisit because it's like if you know all the scenes back behind the scenes, like how many scenes that Bob Hoskins is probably like drunk because he was like drinking from a
No.
flask. I think like John Leguizamo too, right?
I don't know, but he's John Leguizamo is just the best.
Yeah,
Bob
he's good as
Hoskins, R.I.P.
he did it for his kids.
He did it for his kids. Hey man, like I would thank him for his work in the
He
arts.
took this
you know?
role
Mhm.
Yeah,
for his kids.
yeah,
Yeah, he
I
did.
think so.
Yeah, pretty much because they were Mario fans.
But maybe that's like this is as sort of the defender of that movie, only out of curiosity. I'm also gonna say like, but it's not that much more interesting to talk about than what we just did. So like, back to the current Mario movie.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think I'd agree with you. Like, I think it actually looks really well made. And so that trailer was a genuine surprise, and I was like, this feels kind of like epic. And
Hmm.
I'm not someone who perhaps loves that animation studio. So when I heard they were
Yeah.
making it, I was like, oh, those guys? Are you sure? And then you see the trailer and it like opens up with like this fucking like Star Wars level, like the
Mhm.
darkness encroaching upon the land. And I was like, whoa, like okay, they put like money into this. Like they're going for it. And then maybe something happens, but we'll talk about that.
Yeah.
Well, Gene, what about you?
Just based off the trailer, I was really thinking it looks pretty solid. It looks pretty cool. I love how like the designs of like the Penguin Castle looks, or like from what we've seen, like Mushroom Kingdom. Like it feels like they did like the assignment and like researching, like playing the games. Like they're not just like, oh, okay, this is like a cash grab. Like you know, there's like enough references to like understand like, oh, okay, this looks pretty cool. And then the cast is really good, except Chris Pratt, which we'll probably get to. But like, I love the choices of like Anya Taylor-Joy as like Peach, Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong, Jack Black as Bowser is a really good choice. I like that one.
Jack Black.
Mhm.
It's awesome.
He is so good in that trailer. I can't wait to watch the movie for him. I don't know how often I talk about this, but like I love the Kung Fu Panda trilogy.
Mhm.
Like I think those are all excellent movies, and he's
Yeah.
terrific in them. And I just miss like hearing his voice and like seeing him in movies. So this is like exciting to me. You know, like that's why I'm going. Apart from the fact that it does look, you know, at least at the very least like a solid, entertaining movie. I guess this. And any other positives before we talk about the Chris Pratt thing? I'm not that negative on it.
Sure.
But I have asterisks. You know what I mean?
I mean, I want to
Right.
say too, like, which trailer are you guys referring to? Because I recall watching the first trailer, and I think I was on a group call on Discord with a bunch of friends, and it came out during, was it like the Nintendo reveal?
Yeah.
Whenever
yes,
they-
it
Yeah,
did, yeah.
that-
And we're all
one,
watching it at the same time, and our video was like fairly synced, but like there was just enough like delay for some people that we all kind of had a what the moment, like,
Yeah.
and it was all in regards, obviously, like the elephant in the room, you know.
Yeah.
But other than that, like, I didn't see the second trailer. The second trailer released, and I was like, I'm not gonna watch it. And then I went to the theater and I saw it, I think in like Dolby or IMAX, and I was like, jaw dropped.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. Can we do spoilers here?
Sure, yeah,
Yeah,
of
we can,
course.
yeah. Trailers. I think are
Dude.
fair game. You know.
There were some moments in that trailer where I was just like blown away, like Rainbow
Mm.
Road. Like I don't know, I
Yeah.
am very excited just to like see it on the big screen. So
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean that's one thing that I'm glad you brought up, like the Mario Kart aspect of it. It was like, what? I didn't know that was going to be there. So, you know, I have this hang up with franchise movies where it's like, but come back for the next one now that we got the origin
Right.
out of the way. You're going to show the cool
Yeah.
stuff you really want to see. And this
Yeah.
one, I was surprised. Like, no, we're going to put all the Mario stuff in this. And I was
Mhm.
like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, I want to see that. So the Chris Pratt of it all.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Gene.
I'll say,
'cause
okay.
I got a thing.
Okay, I'll say to be clear. So it's like if anyone, because I may have like know someone that already saw the movie and know some stuff,
What?
but well, we'll get into that later. But
Okay.
like, also you have to like, if you listen closely, he's not doing his voice; he's doing a New York accent, which you could hear in like a couple of the lines that he has like a New York accent to it. So preface everything with Chris Pratt with that.
Yeah, I guess technically he is.
Mhm.
And you've defended this decision with that to me before too. And my counter argument is you don't really hear, like you have to like
Yeah.
well, if you really listen super closely and it's like
Mhm.
you're correct.
Yeah.
But I don't think that kind of cushions the blow of it.
Yeah.
I think it's just super funny that they were hyping up the voice and stuff like that. And it was like, this sounds like Chris Pratt. Like, oh,
Yeah.
whatever.
I love
Is
yeah,
he
what's that?
maybe the most interesting actor for the part? I would argue no. I
Okay.
think he's been a good actor many times before. I
Mhm.
think he's also been a safe choice in the
Yeah.
industry.
I think-
I think he's a little dull here. That's all.
Mhm. Okay.
I think it's pretty wild, and like I don't want to say like the world is going through Chris Pratt like hysteria, like where he's in everything, but I did go to Orlando recently, and I went to Disney, and then I went to Universal. And what blew my mind is like at Disney they have the Guardians of the Galaxy, the new ride at Epcot, and I'm like, Chris Pratt in your face, Chris Pratt, and it, you know, and then went to Universal and it's like Velocicoaster, Chris Pratt, and I'm like, oh my gosh, he's everywhere.
Yeah.
Like I can't escape this guy. So it makes sense, but also I'm
Yeah.
like, wow, he's in everything. So
It kind of is.
I'm a little desensitized to like, I don't know.
Wait till the Garfield movie comes out and here's Garfield voice.
Yeah, that's
Wait,
that's
what?
even worse.
He's Garfield too.
Disney?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, he's Garfield. Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
Mhm.
Is he just doing VO like eating lasagna or like what? I don't understand. I hate Mondays and his New York accent.
I don't know. We'll try to
No.
like he'll
That
he'll
one's
watch-
like-
uh-huh.
I guess not as like a defender of him, but just like as someone who's like, I like his acting. I'm like, okay, time out, everyone's like, this is ridiculous now.
Yeah.
Like everyone take a step back. There are plenty of other talented people out there.
Mhm.
how do you all feel about the idea of people wanting like the Mario voice for the whole movie? Do you think that could work, or do you think maybe it's better to do a different type of voice for the whole movie?
I think
You start.
yeah, I think you can't do that whole voice for like an hour because we'll talk about this. For Super Nintendo World, they had this like extended clip of like Toad when you're in like Toadstool Cafe, and like it's the Toad voice from the game, and he's just like talking and talking, and it's hard to do Toad. He's like, "Oh, it's me," and then it's just like it gets irritating after a while. So I feel like that's what would happen to the Mario voice too.
Well, and I feel like at least in the games, there's not that many voice lines. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like there's like the iconic like Yahoo! And like, you know, you got your moments where it's appropriate to hear the voice, but otherwise you're reading everything. So I feel like this would be better suited as like a movie where you're seeing a lot of action, but maybe getting like the iconic punchy kind of like voice lines rather than like, I don't want to like see Mario sitting down and having like a full conversation. And like explaining, you know, the plot to me. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
No, I would actually agree with that too. Like, one of the topics we have right here that I kind of skimmed over, but I think it's a good time to bring back now is like what makes Mario like a great character, right? And I do think it's mostly just that, like, you know, he's a player surrogate basically, right? Like, he doesn't really have, I guess, like layers or depth, but he's like an iconic character. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't need everyone to be, you know, fucking Hamlet or something. Although I did rewatch Kenneth Branagh's Hamlet, and that thing just goes fucking crazy. Like, you know, maybe he doesn't need to be the character that like talks a lot. Maybe he's mostly silent the whole time, you know? Like, you go back and read old reviews of the 90s movie, that is the criticism there too. It's like, hey, like in the game, this guy like doesn't really talk. They just kind of hop around and do stuff. There's no character here. And it's like, all right, well, like, we'll take it or leave that, but like I think maybe that's a little applicable here too. I mean, hey, maybe I'll be proven wrong by the movie. You know, that'd be cool too. You know, I don't need to be right about that. That'd be something.
No, you're right though. Mario, he does feel like an everyman. Like, anybody can feel themselves easily on screen, like being this hero. So the more complex you make his character, I don't know, maybe like the more isolating it is for certain people who want to watch and like feel that experience on screen. So yeah, I like Mario being mysterious and complex, and we don't really know who he is, except, you know, he's a handyman. He's a plumber. He has a little bit of a backstory, right?
Yeah, he's Italian.
He loves the princess. Like, we know some of his motivations, but we don't need to like hear.
Don't need to know his whole life.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, he doesn't. If there's like a Mario monologue, it better be like fucking killer, because that would be ridiculous, you know.
Well, what's it,
like the Wonder Years style, like Mario.
Well, what's his like personality in the 90s movie? He's kind of disgruntled. Bob Hoskins plays him like really. He's like kind of grumpy the whole movie.
Well, that's just Bob Hoskins.
Yeah, that's Bob Hoskins.
That's every Bob Hoskins role. And Luigi's kind of the protagonist in that movie.
Yeah,
which is another thing that's just like so weird to me. It's like, why? But that's fine.
I like Luigi. He doesn't get enough like love, you know.
Oh yeah,
like,
no. I'm no Luigi hater. I'm just saying, like, as a little kid watching that movie, I was like, already it's like a barrage of things I'm not familiar with, and then Luigi's also the main character. It's like I have nothing to latch onto here as a Mario movie.
I don't know, some of those like 90s video game movies, like they just focused on the wrong character, where it's like Mortal Kombat doesn't focus on Scorpion or Sub-Zero, Street Fighter doesn't focus on Ryu, it's like Guile or something. I'm like, who wants this? But the producers or screenwriters just probably didn't play the games either. So yeah,
I'm willing to bet it's the producers who were like, "This is popular. Let's make money off of it."
Yeah.
So speaking of which, as we wrap up this section, and you both are about to take the lead on the theme park questions, I'm very curious about, because I did not attend with you both. But this is the last movie related thing.
Yeah.
Are there any other Nintendo properties we'd actually like to see adapted, like live action, animated? You know, is there anything that like you're like that could make a cool movie?
I'll jump right in and I'll say I would love to see a Metroid movie with Samus. But I mean, I'm like hardcore Metroid. I don't know if that would appeal to like the wider audience, but I would love to see it in like a Tomb Raider style, like badass female lead Samus. Like, just I don't know, and probably for like the Prime series, I feel like that's more popular, it resonates. But I don't know. I could go back. Like, I played old school Metroid games, so
No,
I would love to
choice.
see that. Thanks.
Yeah,
like
that'd be cool.
Like sci-fi and fantasy are in right now, and that's like a hardcore action sci-fi series. So there's, I think there's an audience for it now more than ever. You know what I mean? Because it's like big blockbusters like are kind of the only movies that make money, anyways, right now. But I mean that movie could be so badass.
Yeah, I was like, and I love Samus too. I love Metroid too. Like, imagine like playing that game when it first came out, blew people's minds that Samus was like, you know, a girl and everything. That was cool.
Yeah,
you know,
maybe there weren't any internet headlines about stupid people not being able to accept a woman as an action hero or whatever. I'm just gonna make myself angry for a second. Sorry.
Yeah, Samus is cool too. I love that character.
Yeah, that's a great choice.
Thank you. Yeah. Well, I think playing those games, they have a lot of replayability because they're like classic Metroidvanias. And I think it could be fun in a movie to have Easter eggs like that, where you're like going back through the same parts of like, I don't know, like you're coming back and it's like now something new. Like, I think they could have a lot of fun with the Easter eggs of game lore without it being too on the nose. But yeah, it's a character that I would like to see adapted for sure.
Yeah, no, she's great. Yeah,
and it would probably be live action though. I don't know that I would see that as an animated film, but I'm not opposed to it.
It could be. Like, I was gonna say, if anyone saw, apparently like the rumors are pretty true. What's her name? Brie Larson. She was trying to be Samus for a bit. She posted like a Halloween costume, and from what we heard, she was like, she met with Nintendo. So like, I think there's some live action plans. I would think that'd be cool.
That would be cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Man, what would I want? I want, like, off the top of my head, I want to say like Star Fox, but I feel like, I don't know, like I don't have like an idea of like how to, you know, make that besides like animated. And there's like so much I don't know, the storyline isn't as like strong, even though I love those games. I would say, I don't know, probably like Legend of Zelda, I think would be the better movie, because there's like so much lore, so much to pick from. And then two, there was a thing I was watching on YouTube where it was the company that did that pretty good Ninja Turtles movie, the animated one in 2007. I'm not sure if anyone's seen that one.
Yeah, I like that one.
That one's good. They did like test footage of like they were trying to do Zelda for Nintendo, and it looked pretty cool. So it's like, you know, I think that would be really cool to adapt. Probably like Ocarina of Time too.
Definitely. That'd be amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Zelda would absolutely have an audience. Based on how many people I stood in line with whenever like the Switch came out and to get Breath of the Wild, like, yeah, definitely. And how many people, like, I always thought I was the only person that wanted, like, I want to get a Zelda tattoo or something cool. And like, it's out there, man. There's so much merch. That IP is very strong and alive.
It is, yeah. They're not doing anything with it for like movies or anything. That's sad. Or at least animated stuff.
That wasn't my choice, but I've always had an idea like, well, if you're gonna do Legend of Zelda as a movie, clearly you have to go stop motion.
Yeah.
Right? Like, obviously.
That'd be cool. Like,
and like that was only obvious to me. So I'm always like, oh no, I think it would be cool like that.
It's gonna be like a Tim Burton Legend of Zelda movie, like with like really weird like
here's a take.
No, I mean, seeing the style of like a different director could be fun.
Yeah. Like, imagine Guillermo del Toro's like Pinocchio, but Zelda. You know, like that like vibe, but with Zelda, I think could be like, or Kubo and the Two Strings, something like that. You know, that could be something. My actual choice was Star Fox also.
Star Fox, yeah.
Because here's
I didn't choose it. Though. Why. You can still get it.
Because of Top Gun.
I was just gonna say that.
Yeah,
you can hire Tom Cruise.
Space. Tom Cruise as Star Fox. Yeah. I think you could do something super similar. Like, because Top Gun's neither of those movies are very complicated. But they work for a lot of people because they like nail the basics to such a fundamental degree. You know what I mean? So like, I think that's all you need for like a Star Fox movie too. Like, really introduce like that spectacle and that sense of adventure. So you get the sequel where they go to Dinosaur Planet.
I love
I've been a defender of that game since back in the day.
Yeah, even though that game is like a Zelda, like it has a big Zelda influence.
Totally
It's just plagiarizing Zelda, but it's a really good game.
Yeah, but I like it, so I don't care.
Yeah, Star Fox Adventures. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it for the movie section. I'm gonna ask you all about your trip to Universal Studios, Super Nintendo World. Like what were your guys' expectations? Like when it was first announced?
Because it was announced in 2020 or 2019. I'm not sure if you recall, Ashley. It's been around for a while.
Yeah, I mean, my first thought of Super Nintendo World, I recall a long time ago when it first came out, I believe in Japan, that I like went down the rabbit hole then and watched a lot of videos. And I was like, I have to go to Japan and I have to go to Super Nintendo World. And this is like all I want to do with my life.
Yeah.
And then when it was announced here, I'm like, I am not looking at any pictures, any videos. Like I don't even want to, like, other than maybe peeking over the ledge when you're at the park and seeing like, oh, what's the progress? Like I wanted to go in cold and have no expectations. And I think that was a good decision.
Yeah, definitely. Because it's like you go in there and it's great. But yeah, I don't know. Like I was just always anticipating it for a while. I bought a Universal Pass just to go to get a preview of it. And I don't know, yeah, just like the inner Nintendo fan in me was like, you have to go. It's like you're going opening day. And yeah, I guess we did. So
yeah, what was your experience? So you went a day before me, Gene, and you also went on a weekend.
Yes.
Whereas I went today on a Monday, which I don't know if that made a big difference, but I am curious how like our two experiences. I think today might have been a better day. I don't know.
Probably
with crowds, at least.
Yeah, it was very crowded yesterday. It was cold and it was crowded, but it was fun. It was fun. Like, yeah, because I was giving you tips after I went. Like, oh,
yeah, I was like, no spoilers, Gene.
Yeah, and
then you were behaved. You like only sent me some like good. Actually, your tips really helped me.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like whenever we do like visit a theme park, you and me have visited like Disneyland, always had and this is generally what you should probably try to do for theme parks, have a game plan, have a strategy, what to avoid, what to do when you get there. So yeah, trying to be helpful. But yeah, it was like there was a lot of people yesterday, and it's like it's not big and everything, and like I just remember like I got there and I was like, all right, like I had to pick one, either Toadstool Cafe or the ride. I'm really hungry. I chose Toadstool Cafe.
So wait, when you went to Toadstool, did you have to do a virtual queue or did you just go right on in?
Oh, so like I went to the the maitre d', I can't think of a better word, the guy in the front, and he's like, how many people?
Maitre d'.
Maitre d', yeah, like
no, the Toadtre d'.
Oh, Toadtre d'.
That's really good.
Yeah, I didn't think of any puns, but like I went up to him and I'm like, he's like, how many people? I'm like, it's just me. And he's like, all right, give me your number. The wait is 1 hour.
Yeah.
And so it's like, okay, that's fine. So I was like walking around and was doing the mini games, and the hour went up, and then I got the text. I'm like, all right, I'm going in. And I bought like 3 things on that menu. I was so hungry.
What did you get? I want to compare what we had.
So I got the Mario burger. I'm not sure like the name of that. I had the menu in front of me, darn. But that's like a bacon burger with like cheese and everything, and it has a little Mario hat.
And mushrooms.
Can't
forget. They love mushrooms. Like on your shirt.
Oh yeah.
I also got the Mario cheeseburger.
It was good, right?
It was really good. Yeah. It was I mean, it was like pricey for a burger, but I'm like, this is my one experience probably right now doing this. So let's do it. So
yeah. It's like go all in. Because I got the I forgot what they're called, the mushroom like garlic bread, the toad.
The garlic toad twist knots or whatever. Yeah, the cheese. Those are awesome too.
Those are really tasty. It's like they have like a little toad, like Toad's head is a mushroom. And it has garlic bread, and there's like 4 of them, and they have like marinara sauce. And it's actually pretty good. It's a good like appetizer. It's supposed to be split from people, but I just ate it by myself.
Nice.
And I forgot, I got the drink too. It was like a lemonade, and it was like this like Princess Peach like lemonade or something, and there was like a bunch of like stars and like stuff like
little bobas and pineapples and
like all these gummies, and it was so good.
Yeah, it was very tart, but like in a good way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
kind of wish I got some of the pastries, but I'm like, all right, this is too much. Like, you need to stop.
I did get
Oh, okay.
Will and I went, so we got the Mario burger, the Luigi burger, and I was wearing, so we each have like our player 1, player 2 hats.
Oh,
so
nice.
when the guy came out, which actually this was really nice, like not only did they take like your number and then you got to come back, but after you ordered, they're just like, they took you and sat you down at a seat, and then they brought the food out, and I'm like, this is kind of cool. Like there was all these screens in the room that were like, it was very immersive. I don't know, just the music and the environment. But then we ended up getting that, and then the Luigi chicken sandwich, which had a lot of green stuff on it. They were like, what's green that we can put on this and make it themed?
Yeah.
It had like pesto and green pepper. And it was actually, I was surprised because I wasn't expecting that to be that good.
Yeah.
But then we ended up getting I think it was like Superstar tiramisu and the Princess Peach cupcake, which I still have.
Oh, you still
we brought it back. Yeah, they had a nice little cupcake container to take it to go.
Yeah.
But it's a big cupcake. Yeah, I don't know. I was actually pretty impressed with the food.
Yeah, I thought so too. Like, I mean, for like the price that you're paying, like, okay, I'm like, okay, this is worth it, right? Yeah. For like the effort they're putting in, I'm like, oh, this is so cool.
Yeah.
I was gonna say when you're waiting in line, because there's lines and everything, I wanted Toad to stop talking. Like, I'm like, please stop, because he's just like, his voice, I don't know. Yeah, he's just like, and it's just like, I'm like,
yeah,
stop.
He's like, yeah, no, I. Well, I think that the line was definitely backed up because of the preview day.
Yeah.
You're probably not expected to be in that room for more than like one rotation of that video. And you probably got it like 5 times at least. So.
Yeah, no, it's probably like 10 times.
Oh no.
Yeah. I'm just
wow.
Yeah. And I'm just like,
enjoy your meal. Like, yeah. He's just Toad had a lot to say.
Yeah. I'm like, Toad, you could only talk like one line in a cutscene. That's the most I would give you. It's like, I don't want to hear you monologuing about your food. Like, stop, Toad.
Aww.
I like Toad, but some of those characters.
I like when I play Mario Kart, I main Toad because he's like, I'm the best. Like, I love Toad. He's
fast. I mean, he's fast in Mario Kart.
That's why. Yeah, he's got the drift skills.
He does.
No, see, Ashley, this is why you're already a top tier guest. Because you usually have to like figure out segues, and you're just like, yeah, it was like you're hitting all the points, and I'm like, I don't have to do anything. This is fantastic. I can just hear you guys talk. I'm listening to a podcast. I am not. I'm listening to one. Thanks. This is fantastic.
Planning out your trip.
Yeah, right. Yeah, this is great. I'm so excited. I'm more excited to go now than I was when we started recording.
Yeah. You'll like it.
So you main Toad, which is fantastic because I main Toadette.
Oh, Toadette?
It's the weight distribution. It's so helpful,
Yeah, unless I'm playing the mode where you have to do like pop the balloons, and then it's like we're going Bowser.
Bowser, yeah. God, I probably main I go with like Donkey Kong, like just to like ram people like off the road. He's so good with that, and I love Donkey Kong too. Like, he's one of my favorite Nintendo characters.
Yeah, Donkey Kong's great. But I'm a little basic, and I just stick to Toadette on like any of the modes. I'm like, I'll see if I can like master the Toad like region of this game, and so far so good. I don't want to toot my own horn, but pretty good at Mario Kart, and I have a lot of fun with it. So
you know who's like really good? They just introduced, who's in one of the latest games. Link is a really good driver, I think.
Yeah, all right.
Even though I don't know why he's in this go-karting game, because he's like a medieval character.
Why not?
They do have a level though, right? In Mario Kart.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I mean, there's like 8 rainbow roads at this point, so like just throw them all in there. It's fine. It's is there a rainbow road at the Universal Studios?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, Gene, I want to know about your thoughts on the ride, because I definitely have some thoughts.
Okay. I liked the ride. It was cool. I felt like the VR like needed like some more like input or something, because it's like the way they were inputting the VR was like, I wish it could have been better. I mean, just to go back a bit. So the ride, it's a ride where it's like, you're going around a track, you're kind of speeding. But it's also it has a VR component. So the VR component of it's like Mario Speedway. Is that the name of the ride?
I think yeah, it might just be like Mario Kart Speedway.
Okay. Yeah, for Mario Kart Speedway, you're on this track, you have like a player next to you, and you guys are both like using the VR to like shoot like Team Bowser. So you're whoever you chose with your little like with your little wristband, which is like a big part, and we could talk about that later, but you're trying to like get them off the road, and it's just like you get little shells and you're trying to like hit them and everything. But it's like I wish they incorporated the VR a bit more into the ride. Like it could have activated stuff, because I felt like it was a little lost in translation.
Yeah. I'm gonna say like I was very overwhelmed by it. And I actually like I have a couple VR headsets and I like quite a bit of VR. And I don't know if like VR is the exact term. It might be like augmented, because it is like you put on a clip and it's like a cool little Mario, like you're in the line. It's like almost like when you go to grab your 3D glasses in any line. And then everybody takes photos because everyone's wearing cool little Mario hats. Yeah. Which these are like in such good condition right now. I want to see these things in like 3 years when they're like all scratched up and broken. Like I'm like, this is like a brand new, nobody's ever even worn this before. But then when you get in the ride, so there's like the handles in front of you and two little buttons, almost like the bumpers. And you get to collect coins and shoot like, I guess the shells. Yep. And so you have to turn, like there's a little bit like you're on a track, but there's some activities that you can do on the ride. But it's just so much going on at once that I had trouble distinguishing like what's the real environment of like this ride, because there's a lot of really cool stuff to see, but then there's so much going on
your screen.
And I'm like trying to shoot the other cars, like physical cars with you get points for this or coins. But yeah, I kind of want to go through it again and like wear the AR and just to actually experience the ride firsthand to know like what that is like, because I got off and I was like, whoa, like where am I? This ride was, I don't think I could do it more than like once a day.
Yeah.
it was intense.
Yeah.
Especially like as a gamer too, I'm like thinking of older people doing it and being like, I don't know if parents, like little kids are gonna love it. Yeah. But like, I don't know, if you're not a gamer, like it might not be a fun ride.
Yeah, I saw some senior citizens getting off of my ride actually. Yeah.
Were they like dead?
Like no, they're just like it was just this older couple. It's like a man and a wife, and I think someone had a walker, and I'm like, I wonder what you thought of that ride. Yeah. I hope you liked it.
I don't know.
Like, he's getting off the ride, and he's like, "Honey, my arm hurts. My chest is tightening up."
Honestly, I don't know. So usually there's like an age, like you have to be like a certain height. Maybe there should be like cut off, like. It was a lot. It was definitely a lot, even though the track and the physical part of the ride wasn't that much. Like there's just so much going on. But it was still really fun. And like not even the ride itself, Gene, the queue for the ride was so cool.
I saw half of it because like
you did single rider.
I did single rider because I just like the wait I think estimated was like 320 minutes, and I'm like,
what?
Yeah.
No.
Like no. I'm like, no, I'm not doing this.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I was like,
we'll go back and we'll go through the actual queue.
Yeah. I saw photos and everything though.
It was really cool because a lot of the rooms, so you're getting like the Mario music from all the different games. And like one room could be like a certain level, like a water level. And there's glow in the dark stuff going on. And like my jacket was super reflective in there. I was like lighting up the room. But I don't know. It was just like very relaxing. And then you get closer as you get closer to Bowser's castle, like the music kicks in that it's like, it's going down. And the intensity of like going from the early queue into Bowser's castle, it's just such like every room is so well thought out. Man, there's a lot to see just in the queue. Yeah. Like that in and of itself was almost as cool as the ride.
Yeah, no, definitely.
That sounds super cool. That's not something I ever really like thought of like when I was hearing about this, because like usually it's like queues, you're kind of just waiting there and it's like the music's on loop, and like I'm sure this is going to have some of that too, just because it can't be a new fresh experience every time. It's just not physically possible. That's too demanding. But the fact that it sounds like it kind of escalates as you're waiting in the queue, like a story almost, like that's super cool. I never once considered that,
Yeah,
that's cool.
And then when you're up in the second part of the queue, you're kind of like at a really cool level for seeing the rest of the park, but up close. So you're still immersed in it. Because when you're inside of it, it actually feels pretty big. Like I know it's a small section of the park, but I went in and I was like, whoa. Like I really felt like I was like in a level of the game. And there's just so much going on with the animatronics too. So it was a really good spot to like capture a couple of videos and get some like good photos.
Yeah,
because there's everything there. You know, they have like the Koopas, they've got Goombas, like there's like the chain chomps, like there's a lot going on that you can just like go, I don't know, like little Easter eggs.
Yeah, no, that was awesome. I love that aspect of it. It's like so many Easter eggs too. Yeah.
So like, are there any other meet and greet characters? You mentioned like Goombas and stuff like that. Like any like characters you're excited to see or you want to see more of?
So I recall, so when we first went in, there were meet and greets happening, and I think it was just like Mario, Luigi, and Peach. But we did the queue for Toadstool. We went into the ride and then came back out and ate at the Toadstool Cafe after, because I think our wait was on like 70 minutes. It wasn't too bad. Yeah, and as soon as we came out, they're like, your Toadstool is ready, and we're like, let's go. Let's go. No,
no.
I was really disappointed when we got to the front of the queue. I was like, somebody better say this who works here, or I'm gonna be mad. Nobody said it.
Damn.
Yeah, no, I want my money back. But no, it rained while we were eating our food. So when we came out, it was like pretty cleared out, and there were no character meet and greets left. Just people doing all the interactive.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like, Jean, did you see anybody else there besides Luigi and Peach and Mario?
No, it was just those three.
Okay.
That was it. It was just those three. And it's just like, I don't know, like, I mean, there's like Yoshi. He's in, like, you see Yoshi spinning around the castle.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I wonder why there's only those three. I mean, maybe like they're still like developing it, or the storylines or the meet and greet. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Well,
it was a preview too, so maybe as the park, when it finally opens, there'll be more, because it still did look like there was like some scaffolding on the outside. Like I don't know if it's like fully ready, so they might be still working on it.
Yeah.
The first thing that comes to my mind, I just have to say, is that classic Smash Brothers commercial from the 90s with all the characters holding hands.
Yeah,
you all know the one. Ashley? I'm putting that in this
I have to rewatch this, but I think I remember. Oh my gosh, that's great.
It's like, what's that song? It's like it's song. It's about friends or something.
Yeah, it's like Happy Together. That song. So happy together. Yeah. And they're beating each other.
Yeah,
classic.
It's a good one.
Yeah. That's what I want to see when I walk into that park area. I want to see that. Yeah, chaos.
Yeah, just fighting at like a ring.
Smash.
Like crying.
They could have like Smash days where it's like a certain weekend and it's just like battles.
Yeah.
No, I don't know.
I just want Donkey Kong. Give me like Donkey Kong meet and greet.
That would be really cool.
Yeah, but there were some like interactive elements, like there's a piranha plant, or like I forgot what are the mushroom guys called? Goombas?
Yeah, I think so. Goomba.
Yeah, there's like a Goomba where you could like you spin this thing and he like falls off, or you could interact with like piranha plant and he's like chopping at you.
Yeah, so I didn't get the band, but I saw people go up, and then there's one where you can like spin the wheel and I think attack the Goomba. Another is like where there's like the POW boxes.
Yep.
And which that is actually more old school. POW, that is definitely from Donkey Kong. I don't recall like POW boxes in the actual games. Like there was other boxes like that. But if you time it right, it'll knock the character up, and then there's like a super POW and then a coin above it. So it's like a chain reaction. And then everybody in the queue, if somebody does it, they're all like cheering, and I don't know, it's just like cool to see that.
Yeah.
I didn't get a power band yet.
Oh no, you should have.
I'm going to, but yeah, we were limited on time today.
Okay.
So next time I'll go back, I'll do the interactive experience.
Yeah. Yeah. No, definitely.
Which one did you get, Gene?
I got the Mario. Let me see. Let me grab it actually.
Okay.
Let me see. 1 second. I got this guy.
Nice.
So it's like, it's cool. And like you just like push it in front of a thing and it activates it and you get points. So that's cool.
You used it on the ride also?
Yeah. So like
I didn't have one for the ride, so I didn't get to pick a character. But you did?
Yeah.
Or is it a preset? Like if you have the Mario band, you have to play as Mario.
Yeah, so it's like if you get Mario, you buy Mario, Peach, Daisy, or Luigi.
Nice.
Yeah, it's cool.
I guess one of the last things I wanted to ask you both is,
Mhm.
are there any non-Mario related characters? Because this is Super Nintendo World, right?
Mhm.
Like Ashley, you mentioned like Metroid as like the movie thing. Do you think there's like a part of the park that could be like, here's like a railway shooter or something like that, you know?
Mhm.
I think, to be honest, this park feels like it's definitely catered towards kids. And I think the next generation, like Kirby, would be super cool to see.
Mhm.
Oh, that
I
makes
don't
me
know. I
happy.
think that could be really fun. Or does Nintendo? I think they own Pokemon, right? I don't want to.
No,
yeah.
you're correct. Yeah.
I would, dude. If you bring Pokemon, it's over. But that might just have to be a
Yeah.
whole separate park. Like buy the lot across the street and just open like Pokemon. You know,
Yeah.
Lavender Town. Let's
Yeah.
go there.
They
Oh,
might have
man.
to buy a city for that. Like,
Yeah. That'd be cool. I feel like there's like a Pokemon cafe in like Japan, so if they do something like that, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, I would be really excited to see Pokemon. What else though? There's so many, but I like obviously I love Metroid, but I don't know that would fit into this park.
Mhm.
So I think anything though from Smash. Like there's a lot of characters. Maybe if it's just cameos, or do you mean like a whole section of the park dedicated?
like a section, if you think it would fit in, you know.
I'm not sure.
I mean, hey, cameo's cool. You know, if you just want to see someone walking around who wasn't there when you two went.
Is it too on the nose to do like Wario or any of like the evil characters? Are they gonna bring those guys?
I hope so. Yeah, bring Wario.
I think they should. You know, it's like I think that's totally acceptable. I don't think that's a cop out at all.
I saw someone like wearing a Wario and Waluigi hat when I was going in.
Waluigi.
And I was like, yeah, it was cool.
Yeah. Do you see cosplayers while you were there? Because there was a lot of people dressed up, and I thought that was really cool.
I saw a little bit. There was like someone dressed up like, you know, just Mario and like Yoshi, and that was it. Yeah, Princess Peach cosplay. That was cool.
Yeah, I feel like more people should dress up when they go. Like, I don't know. That's a fun part of it.
Yeah.
But they do have a lot of like cool hats. We had the hats. So
yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah. Any final thoughts on the park experience then? I'm really you both really excited me, by the way. So
you have to go
I can't wait to go. But yeah, any other last thoughts? Ashley, you're ladies first, and you're the guest. You've been fantastic guest, by the way. Like, really, thank you.
This has been so much fun, you guys. Thank you for having me. Yeah, I mean, I think the park got me very excited for the movie, and it's like going down the escalators now. I think the last time I was there, they had like Megan on the wall. Like they always have like the big, billboards, and it was all like for the Super Mario movie that's coming out. So I think it kind of goes hand in hand. I like that they're opening the park before the film releases. I think this film's going to do really well because the park exists.
It's promoting it.
Yeah. Yes. So yeah. I want to go back though. I think it's February 17th. Today just flew by, and
we have to plan it out. Yeah, because I'm gonna try to go again at some point. It's probably gonna be crowded, but
yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
Just go on a weekday, Gene.
Oh no.
Pick a day it's gonna rain. It was crazy walking out after the rain. Best time for photos because so many people left. It was
just gone.
It was pretty empty by that point. But it was also getting chilly. So, but I love that. I love when parks have like that ambience. I'd almost want to work there just to see what it's like at night. You know?
Yeah.
Sorry, tangent.
No,
it was fun.
Yeah, that sounds great. And I'm gonna like chart the weather now for like the next month and a half. Just be like, when is it gonna rain? When can I sneak over?
Well, because
there?
Toadstool is indoor, and the entire queue for the Mario Kart ride is indoor as well. So you really, except for like maybe one little section that goes, but that's even covered pretty well. So you don't have to worry about rain. And there's a lot of good areas like in the summer when it's super hot. There's a lot of shaded areas and like cool little like mushrooms and things to sit on.
Yeah.
Like I was surprised by how well they did having like shade and seating there.
They were mindful of that. Yeah, that was cool. Yeah. I hope just for me, I'm gonna put on my Mario hat that I bought there.
Wait, I gotta grab mine.
But like for me, I hope that it's like they incorporate whatever game they have out. That's a good one. Whatever game they have, like Nintendo's releasing. So if like Breath of the Wild 2, and when that comes out, if you have like a Link section or like a Link meet and greet.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
No,
it's all good.
fine. It's fine.
It's all
You're
good.
doing great.
But like if they incorporate that in there, that would be cool. Like whatever Nintendo release, I think like Synergy. There you go.
Yeah,
just use a buzzword about Mario.
Yeah, they should hire me.
I know. Some marketing
I
guys.
like your hat.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's gonna fall off at some point.
No, clearly I need to get one of these hats, just any one of them, because now I
These are awesome.
did you get that at the park too?
I got this at the park on New Year's Eve.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I don't know if you can see it because of the.
Yeah.
There it is.
Nice.
We're just wearing all this merch now.
Sponsor us.
No.
I hope so.
Just kidding. Thank you to our patrons, by the way.
Yes.
There are true sponsors in our hearts. I guess that's wraps up the episode then. Ashley, thank you so much again for stopping by. Where can the people check you out online, like social medias? What do you have going on?
Yeah, you can follow me. You guys will probably have to throw up the spelling, but it's Twisted Dreamer. And I'm on Twitch, and I have an Instagram account where I post a lot of video game content and also content whenever I go to the parks. I go to Disney at least 15 times a year, and I have a platinum pass for Universal. So now that Nintendo World's open, I'll be going quite a bit as well. So a lot of content from the parks, but also just playing speed runs of Metroid Dread, and lately my pinball machine. And I might be doing a birthday stream. We'll see.
Oh, there you go. Oh, yeah. Happy early birthday.
Thank you. Yeah, my birthday's this week. So I'm doing all kinds of fun activities for my birthday.
Happy birthday. Oh, my goodness.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, this is even a more special episode now. Links down to all that stuff you just mentioned in the description. Gene, thank you for making this episode happen. Where can people find you?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram, Gene9892.
Yeah, links down to all the rest of our stuff down below, including my socials. Again, this has been such a blast of an episode. I can't wait for people to hear it and also get excited about Super Nintendo World. I'm excited to go. Check out our Patreon, our Instagram, YouTube, all that jazz. You already know where to go. Like and subscribe. If you didn't like this episode, what's wrong with you? Like and subscribe anyways, because you'll probably find something you do like.
Please do.
Thanks for listening, everyone. Thanks for watching. We have been professionally unprofessional. Bye-bye.